Yo, what's up, guys? So this one is this one is based off something that I heard on Script Notes, and I think it's a really good point, and I've never brought this up before. There's 2 points I want to make about it. Getting ripped off. That's what this video is called. Getting ripped off. Your shit gets ripped off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of writers think they stole my thing, they stole my, no, probably not. Probably not, because it's easier to just buy your thing. That's what Sherry told me way back in the day. Like, it's easier to just buy your thing and then fuck you over. Okay? Like, so you probably didn't get ripped off, and it was probably just in the zeitgeist, this kind of thing. So in general, don't think that, like, in my opinion, and I was listening to Script Notes with Tony Gilroy and John and Craig, and and Tony's like, I think I maybe got ripped off, earlier, and his agent told him basically, like, just walk it off. Okay, maybe you did, kind of thing. Maybe you did. And John and Craig maybe too. And it's like, just walk it off. Like, in your early days, just walk it off. Like, maybe you did. I think maybe I did, possibly. I'm not gonna say by whom, but maybe. You know. So there's that point. Just walk it the fuck off. You're early in your shit, like, because why? You're gonna make a big deal about this. Like, you gotta understand, the industry's fucked, bro. Okay. So once you understand that, okay, the industry's fucked. So in order for me to try to make it, I gotta get fucked over. Yep. Okay. And just walk it off. See, now you're not being difficult. All right. People like that. And especially in the beginning, you got to walk that shit off. You got to just take it, man, and just whatever, okay? And then maybe one day you can be like the big shot, That's just, most writers look at that as just paying your dues, man, honestly, okay? And if you sit around and complain about, like, I got ripped off, when writers hear that, like, I got ripped off, no one cares. No, if you tell a writer that, I'm just telling you, man, if you tell a writer I got ripped off, most writers are just like, you're delusional, number one, and if you even if you did, I don't give a fuck. You're paying your dues then, okay? Good for you. Good for you for getting ripped off. Walk it off. Toughen up, brother. Like, no one cares, bro. But the other thing that Tony Gilroy said that is super fucking smart is, and I 100% agree with this, is, originally when I got signed, I didn't know what was going on in the industry. Meaning, I knew, I was married to an agent. I knew how basically, like, deals work and this kind of thing. I knew what certain writers were doing that she repped. I knew how their deals were going down, this kind of shit, but I wasn't tracking the industry, is my point. And Tony Gilroy basically said that, like, I feel like maybe I'm got his point wrong or whatever, but I don't think so. And I agree with this point. Is like, you basically want to not track the industry, because you're going to you'll either talk yourself out of writing shit that you should write, or like, even if something is close, I've said that before, where I'm like, that's why I've reached out to producers and so forth to be like, do you have anything like this? I don't really want to know. Like, when I got signed, like, I didn't really want to know what's going on. I'm not reading the trades. Like, if you're reading the trades, all this kind of shit, and you're trying to keep up with everything, that's a really great way to, like, kill your creativity. and then you're trying to target. See? And then when you're just like, I don't give a fuck what's going on out there. I'm not trying to target. I'm just gonna write whatever the fuck I think. I found this story or IP or whatever, or you're just like, I thought of this crazy fucking idea. I'm just gonna do it. And I don't super care if someone else is like, see, if you're tracking shit, like it's like, how do I say this? You know, maybe someone has like whatever, like Dante's Peak, this kind of shit. So you do a movie that's like you write your thing, and there's a volcano movie against your volcano movie, shit like this, right? But if you don't worry about that, then your odds of coming up with something original are way higher. That's my point. Because you're not tracking the industry. You're not thinking about like, what did Netflix ask for? I don't give a fuck what they want. You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to be a real writer? You can't care. You can't care what, Netflix wants. No one. Make it up. Create the fucking target. That's basically what Tony Gilroy is saying right there, is create the target. And I think that's kind of what Tony, Craig, and John are saying. I think they're kind of saying that. And if I got that wrong to any degree, I apologize. But it's like, don't worry about getting ripped off, in the sense that, see, now I gotta fucking go back. Meaning, obviously, worry about your deals, like how your deal's gonna go down. Be smart about that with your lawyer, your agent, your manager, all that. I know Craig doesn't like managers. Don't get one if you don't want one. But worrying about writers ripping you off is what I'm saying. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about writers ripping you off. Who cares, man? Go ahead, try to. I don't give a fuck. I'll do it better, bro. How about that? You know what I mean? Like, have that mindset. I'll just do it better than you. So I'm not worried about who's doing what. I'm only, and why would you care? Why would you care about what, like, let me target the industry? Why would you give a fuck about that? You know what I'm saying? Let me target the industry to try to give them what they want. So let me write something I don't even give a fuck about. Why would you do that? No. Write something you give a fuck about and make them want it. And then sell it. You see what I'm saying? And then pitch it and then be like, this is why it's so fucking dope. That's why. I got the only one, bro. The only one. I'm the only one who's fucking done this. People like that. People win Oscars off that shit. Okay? So anyway, I'm done. 8 minutes. I'm pretty good. Pretty short, this one, right? Okay, guys? Don't worry about getting ripped off. And also, just rephrasing, don't worry about getting ripped off by writers, only the industry, because they will try to. Writers, I don't give a fuck what you write. I'm not gonna try to steal your shit. You see what I'm saying? Here's the thing. All writers think our shit is better than yours. See? So no writer wants to rip you off, okay? And it's easy for them to just, you know what? I could just buy that shit for almost no money. So let's just do that. I'll rip them off that way, okay? See? And then also reiterating, when you try to figure out what to write, don't listen to the fucking noise. You got to get out of that shit. So you're not listening to the noise. So you're like, I'm clear-headed. I don't even know what's happening out there. I have no idea. When I got signed the first time, I had no idea what the fuck CA wanted. I had no fucking clue. I didn't know. I just wrote this fucking thing, weird ass fucking movie, and they're like, that seems cool. You know, Joe Cohen's like, cool, let me give it to this agent. You know what I mean? Like, when I did Gato, go read this shit. Like, who's done shit like this? It's not common. You know what I mean? Like, you really want to make it, do shit no one else is fucking thinking of. Okay, I'm out. I'm done. That's my recommendation, bro. You know, look at the opening for Michael Clayton, bro. Like, let me say this, and then I'll shut the fuck up. Like, I know a lot of people say, like, what script do you wish you've written? Nothing, bro. My shit. I don't wish I've written anything from someone else. However, out of any script that I think is fucking badass, the opening for Michael Clayton, I think is like, when I read that, I was like, if I can do something like that one day, that would be dope. But I haven't. So, and I kind of still want to. Bye, guys. Good luck.